This video is brought to you by...
Hi, this is the teacher, Prince of all Saiyans. But I'm not being a monkey myself. I find myself on JunkieMonkeys.com. Idiots.
Alright guys, I am Treasy with Junkie Monkeys, and today we are going to talk about Dragon Ball Super. So far I'm on episode 4, so I don't know what happens at episode 4 or 5. I can kind of guess what happens because I've seen a Battle of Gods. I'm sure it's going to be little subtle differences here and there. But you know what? One thing that's a major difference for the movie is the battle shots and the art style, or whatever direction they went, the Microsoft Paint direction they went. Yeah. Because some of these stills, which you can see right here, look like shit. I mean, it's not like we're in 1996 anymore, and a lot of people expect the quality of this anime in particular to be on a grand scale. And so, like, there was a lot of backlash in the Twitterverse, Redditverse, Internetverse from anime fans and Dragon Ball Z fans and Super fans, and in general, people pissed off about the way that this show is looking right now. But it doesn't look all bad all the time. I mean, we kind of chalked it up a little bit to, if you pause anything at the right time, it might look like ass. Also, you gotta think about what you're watching it on. Obviously, majority of people are probably watching this online on a watch anime something site or through somebody who has uploaded it, so the full quality won't be there. But I mean, these shots are undeniably bad, and usually when I have questions about things and why are they this way, and I need to know more, I go to my go-to guy, Chris Soul, who's with me today. And Chris, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
And so, what's your take on these stills?
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's the thing we need to continue to focus on is the fact that, number one, they are steals, just bar none. So it's gonna look different in motion. It's still gonna be noticeable. I've seen a clip of these specific battle scenes, Goku versus Beerus, and yeah, it's pretty noticeable. If you look at specific shots within that scene, it's pretty noticeable. But then again, if you still just focus on just the stills themselves, then oh yeah, you're automatically going to be like, oh, it looks like shit. But within that episode, from what I understand, it's just like maybe 5 to 6 minutes of like the kind of low quality animation, and then you have to kind of just focus on just those specific shots when you freeze them. But even during the animation, you're like, yeah, this doesn't look great. But as to why they the scenes look the way they are, you got to kind of go back to who animates Dragon Ball, and that's Toei Animation. And they've been animating Dragon Ball since the beginning. The big thing with them is they work on so many different shows, especially nowadays. They work on so many different properties at once. You're working on Dragon Ball right now, Sailor Moon, which I think they're not really working on Sailor Moon right now. One Piece, an anime called World Trigger, which infamously looks like shit. And then just a couple other different shows. The big thing with them is they've got multiple divisions, not just in Japan, but they also have divisions in the Philippines and South Korea. So I think there's just a matter of them rushing these episodes out, and there not being a consistent quality control on them. So that's kind of the big thing. Just number one, they're rushing the production out, and there's not quality control on this. And then maybe third, a foreign animator. He's a French animator who works in Japan. His name is Thomas Romain. He's currently kind of helping LaShawn Thomas out on his Kickstarter show.
Cannon Busters.
Cannon Busters, yeah. And Thomas, he's done work on loads of different kind of anime. He's notable for doing a French co-production called Oban Star Racers. and then he went to Japan and he started working on stuff there. Notably, I guess people might know his stuff. He did like the mechanical designs for Space Dandy, like the ships and stuff like that.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, no, he made a tweet talking about just kind of the pay, the how animators in Japan are not paid well at all. Like we're talking low end, you know, salary.
Bottom of the
So,
barrel type.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, this has come up more recently. I know a few different websites have reported on it. Where another foreign animator, he's an American, and he works with Studio Pierrot. Now, he's not looking at the same bottom of the barrel kind of sweatshop studio. Which that's something that's the thing. That's what he's mentioned. Is these sweatshop like studios in Japan who are paying the animators kind of real bottom of the barrel stuff, and he kind of had to work his way up to. He's working with Studio Pierrot now, who he did work on Naruto, and he did work on Tokyo Ghoul, which is a show that's getting it's a pretty big fan base now. But yeah, I mean that's another thing. It's just these animators, they're cranking out this stuff and they're not being paid very well for it, and it's just kind of a rush for time. So those are kind of the three big things. Number one, the production is rushed. Two, we don't know. I know certain websites are keeping up with the actual production of the show. A website called Kanzenshu. They keep up with a lot of Japanese production stuff on
Yeah.
Dragon Ball, and I think they've got production notes on who's doing what for certain episodes. But like, even then, like, it's you've got, again, we don't know the specifics on like the in between animators. I think we don't have those specifics just yet. So it's multiple things. We don't know exactly who's working on these episodes and when, how long they've been working on these episodes, and then something me and Tracy have talked about is Blu-rays, and it's something Thomas Romaine I think he kind of touched upon as well. Is in Japan, there's been a practice at least for the past probably 5 years, and you can see this in shows like Attack on Titan, Kill la Kill. Well, not so much Kill la Kill, but I mean, there's just a number of shows that are simulcasted,
Yeah.
or like are broadcast, or even broadcasted in Japan, and they'll be broadcast on Japanese TV, and they look fine, but there's those certain scenes that don't look great, and
Yeah.
then when they get released on Japanese home video on Blu-ray,
They're touched up and look.
yeah,
cool.
they're touched up and they look better. We're gonna see that kind of on the same thing when we watch a show simulcasted. You watch it on Crunchyroll or Funimation's website or whatever. We're getting the TV versions. So I mean that's an issue that might be here as well, especially since it's Dragon Ball. I think I'm pretty confident that Toei is going to make sure that these episodes look up to snuff and at least on par with what the movie looked like, at least for these scenes. And this is something I was going to say at the beginning. It's like, well, how much can we specifically complain about it? Because we're not really paying to watch it.
Yeah, that's true.
No one specifically has the license. Allegedly, we're not able to watch this legally. I think if we were able to watch this legally, and we were, if maybe we were paying money to watch it, with a subscription to Funimation's website or whatever, I think maybe we could complain a little bit more about this.
Oh yeah.
But even then, I think this is kind of This even popped up on like Yahoo Japan's website, like a Yahoo Japan news website, and they were making a big note about the difference in quality of the episode because it just kind of blew up. So that's, I mean, with this again, like I told you before, right, this kind of goes into a couple different things. I think that, again, the big thing is just Toei nowadays. I mean, again, back in the day, Toei they're not the highest quality animation studio. They never were. They never will be. But this has to go back with Toei not being that top ace animation studio, to them rushing out these episodes. 3, we not knowing exactly who's animating these episodes, and the time frame of how long it's taking for them to animate these episodes. And then again, 4, we're all hopefully that when these are when these are put out on Blu-ray, they'll be touched up and corrected.
I honestly hope so, man, because like I said, everyone who's a fan of the series really wants to see it progress, not regress, not go backwards and look like ass,
Again, I think it's something maybe we talked about previously, but maybe we didn't state it here. Is again, these are stills. These are still images that are going around. Again, in motion, it doesn't look as bad as the still images
depict. Yeah.
Yeah, but it still doesn't look great. So, and it is still noticeable in and of itself. So,
I think my favorite one is the one where he's like Goku's like punching at him. You don't really see his eyes, and Beerus's eyes are just two dots, and he has just a really grim, solemn face. Like, I don't know if you've seen that one.
Yeah. No, but here's the thing with those. Those are really zoomed in. In the, I think I seen the clip that I'd seen, because I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen the specific episode, but I've seen the clip on YouTube. Yeah. That scene is one of those more kind of zoomed out battle scenes where they're not up.
Then somebody just zoomed in. Yeah.
Exactly. So again, I think people are maybe jumping the gun that it's god awful. I mean, and again, it's not great, and this shouldn't be. It shouldn't just be passed. It shouldn't be given a pass. It shouldn't. It should certainly be scrutinized, because again, it is Dragon Ball. It should look phenomenal, and it doesn't. So that's the problem.
And there you have it, folks. That's why Dragon Ball Super looks like ass right now. So if you have faith, the show will eventually look a little bit better. Freak out if when they do release it on Blu-ray, if it still looks like this. And you know what? If it does, you can probably become a successful animator. If you like drawing Dragon Ball fan art, just go apply for Toei and say, hey, look at my awesome drawings I did on Microsoft Paint.
Yeah, it's like, oh, please don't pay me shit wages for this.
And then you can you can say you worked on Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
And everyone will admire, quote unquote, your work.
Yeah, I mean that's like the joke. I think you said it before. It's like we've seen fan art that looks better than this.
Oh, without a
doubt. Like there are like those fan animated shows. Like
yeah.
Like which I didn't specifically like the style of those, but those stayed on model and they looked consistent. So again, Toei, get your shit together.
Exactly. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. I am Treasy, along with
The Soul,
and we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Later.